best station for news, politics, business, sports and entertainment. Your one-stop channel, Asset Television. Welcome to Asset Television, your best station for news, politics, business, sports and entertainment. Your one-stop channel, Asset Television.
Hello and thanks for staying with us on Asset Television. Welcome to the news. I am Emmanuel Ejike. First, the headlines. Nigeria's President Tinubu re-elected ECOWAS chairman. Major marketers give reasons for petrol queues build-up across Nigeria. 4 more Democrats want Joe Biden to step down. Now, the news in full. President Bola Tinubu has been re-elected as the chairman of the Authority of ECOWAS Heads of State and Government. The president's mandate was extended at the 65th Ordinary Session of the Authority of ECOWAS Heads of State and Government on Sunday in Abuja. The News Agency of Nigeria reports that this followed the decision of the leaders to ensure continuity and consistency in meeting targets on security, reconciliation, and development. President Tinubu was first elected to the position in Guinea-Bissau on July 9, 2023. In his acceptance speech, the president said he would focus on consolidating the values of democracy and upholding the interests of the regional body, which would clock 50 years in 2025. The chairman of ECOWAS appointed the president of Senegal, Mr. Bassirou Diomaye Faye, and the president of Togo, His Excellency Mr. Faure Ezoma Nagasingbe, as special envoys to Burkina Faso, Mali, and Niger Republic. Tinubu had earlier called on heads of state and government of ECOWAS to work towards the establishment of sustenance of regional standby force for the security and economic advancement of the community. The president emphasized the expediency of a standby force in the face of growing security threats in the region. The Senate has established an ad hoc committee to investigate transactions in the Mambila hydroelectric. The resolutions were adopted after a motion moved by Senator Manu Harun in Taraba Central on the urgent need to address the challenges of commencing the Mambila hydroelectric power projects. The lawmaker had in his motion highlighted the failure of previous governments to prioritize the national project with its capacity to generate 3,050 megawatts. In their contributions, other senators asserted that the Mambila Hydro project is non-existent, describing it as a dubious process.
With whatever is happening in this particular area, so that Nigeria for once, if this additional 3,050 megawatts will come into our system, it will go a long way to help businesses, create more employment, and also move this country forward. So it's a good motion, it is timely, and it's something that we, as a Senate, must take with all seriousness to see that this project comes to pass.
If and when you visit Mambila, and I think it's only then that we will understand and appreciate what, as a country, we are losing. Beyond the 3,050 megawatts, even the nature of Mambila, the tourism that to attract to Mambila, the agricultural opportunities in Mambila are beyond anybody's imagination. For any government to have priority in Nigeria, I believe that Mambila Hydro project should be that #1 priority in terms of infrastructural development, not roads, not railway. Because if you have power, 3,000 megawatts, 100 megawatts are more than enough to virtually each and every state in Nigeria. And in one place, you can mobilize and generate 3,000 megawatts, and yet over the years, we've been playing politics with this. Mr. President, something is wrong with us.
This single project, as already said by the mover, will generate 3,050 megawatts of electricity. Bear in mind that the present generation for the whole country, with all the dams, with all the power plants, with all the 10 projects of NIPP, the generation is not more than always hovering around 3,500, 4,000 to 5,000 megawatts. So if we can get one source that will just bring in 3,000, you can imagine the positive change that will happen to the country. But unfortunately, despite the glaring and obvious importance of this project has suffered so many setbacks.
Two major concerns. The first is that injecting 3,000 megawatts of electricity into our national grid will greatly boost the epileptic power supply. And secondly, considering the fact that we should begin to look at a better energy mix, hydroelectric power supply falls under the clean energy that the whole world is actually trying to promote. Especially yesterday, we actually raised concerns on the adulterated diesel that is being imported. So if we actually are concerned about climate change and about our environment, then we all need to support this motion in consideration of the fact that we need to look at a healthier means of energy supply. But I would also appreciate if Senator Manu incorporates his earlier prayer, which is to establish the ad hoc committee, which will look into investigating the litigations, or should I say the legalities around the contracts that had taken place since the year 1999. Because if you listen to the previous speakers, you can see that there are actually some concerns that have been raised by whether it's the previous or current contract owners. As the chair committee on local content, I would say that I have received quite a few petitions with regards to the ownership or the legal tussles around the Mambila project. So as we are asking on the president to consider this as one of the key projects of his administration, it is also important that we tidy all ends. Contracts that are non-binding should be laid to rest. Any arbitration that is ongoing must be looked into. And we should be very mindful not to pacify people, just people or companies that do not have capacity, but to pacify them and incorporate them into local content. We should be very careful of that, sir. If we must have this project up and running in the specified lead time, then we should base our selection or selection of the contractors on merit. Those that have the financial capacity must be prioritized. The companies or the experts that have the technical expertise must also be prioritized. No sentimental consideration, please.
The issue of power is something that is very, very important. In fact, even if it is the only thing that this government at the end of it will be proud of, I think it's worth doing. You can see that we have been witnessing system collapse here and there, and this is because there is no coordinated generating capabilities all over. And having this in the Northeast, and also knowing fully that the Northeast, out of all the zones in terms of this infrastructural development is behind. And the issue of Mambila is of concern to all because it's linked to power, and power is very, very important and critical at this time in the country.
This issue has nothing to do with any part of Nigeria. Whether north, east, northwest, is about Nigeria. And the word is unanimous that there are two key drivers in modern society. First, skilling your people through appropriate education. The other is power. Every time we have had debate in these chambers, we speak to the use of technology. These technologies are power-driven. And I think the more we diversify the source of power, the better for Nigeria. And so for me, I agree with all of those who have said this should be seen as a national challenge. And it's consistent with the renewed hope agenda. In this context, my understanding of renewed hope is that all of those things that have been abandoned, the hope of Nigeria dashed, President Bola Ahmed Tinubu has promised to renew our hope and to revigorate and revive those things that have been forgotten. I am satisfied, sir, that nobody, no nation has all the resources it needs to do what it has to do. What gets done is a reflection of the priorities of those who are responsible for leadership.
This is a very important motion because power is sine qua non for an industrial nation. Any nations that want to get it right in terms of industrialization, power is sine qua non. You can't do without it. And the issue of Mandela has been around for the past 25 years. When I was in House of Representatives, it was there, we were part of it, but it couldn't be actualized. And now we have come to going by the revelation by Senator Sani Musa, we can say that the project is good to go.
In his remarks, Deputy Senate President Barau Jibrin said lack of power supply had plunged the country into further circumstances surrounding the Mambila power projects, giving 4 weeks to report back to the Senate in plenary for further legislative input. Mudashiru Obasa, Speaker of the Lagos State House of Assembly, says the legislative arm is considering passing a law to regulate alms begging in the state. Obasa said this in an interview with newsmen in Lagos. He said that there was need for such legislation. Obasa explained meant to regulate aid soliciting. According to him, the law will also ensure donations reach the needy without them having to beg on the streets. He noted that rising number of beggars in Lagos necessitated this regulation. The Economic and Financial Crimes Commission had filed a notice of appeal to challenge the ruling of Justice Nnamdi Dimba on the Federal High Court, which acquitted Abiodun Agbele, an associate of the former Ekiti State Governor Ayodele Fayose, and 3 others in the 1.2 billion naira money laundering charge brought against them by the commission. Agbele and 3 companies linked to him and Fayose, namely Sylvian McNamara Limited, the Privateer Limited, and Spotless Investment Limited, were listed as the first. EFCC, through its prosecuting counsel, Senior Advocate Wahab Shitu, listed 17 grounds of appeal and sought 2 reliefs from the Court of Appeal. The Commission also sought an order directing the 1st, 3rd, and 4th respondents to enter into their defense before the trial court on listed counts of the amended charge. The Commission said there is overwhelming evidence that 1,219 million naira from the account of the National Security Advisor of Nigeria, domiciled with CBN and earmarked for security purposes and paid in NSA, was unlawfully diverted by the 1st, 3rd, and 4th respondents to fund Fayose's governorship election. If you're just joining us, you're watching Assets Television. We'll be back after this short break.
Welcome to Asset Television, your best station for news, politics, business, sports and entertainment. Your one-stop channel, Asset Television. Welcome to Asset Television, your best station for news.
Welcome back. The Nigerian Meteorological Agency, NIMET, has predicted thunderstorms and rains from Monday to Wednesday across the country. NIMET Weather Outlook released on Sunday in Abuja forecast morning thunderstorms on Monday over parts of Kebbi, Kano, Katsina, Sokoto, Zamfara, Kaduna, Gombe, Borno, Yobe, and Jigawa states later in the day. In the north-central region, rains are expected over parts of the Federal Capital Territory, Kwara, and Niger states during the morning hours. While later in the day, thunderstorms and rains are anticipated over parts of the Federal Capital Territory, Plateau State, Nasarawa, Kogi, Niger, and Benue states. Morning rains are anticipated over parts of Lagos, Ondo, Ebonyi, Edo, Imo, Abia, Delta, Rivers, Bayelsa, Edo, Akwa Ibom, and Cross River, it said. According to NIMET, thunderstorms and intermittent rains are anticipated over the entire southern region later in the day. The agency envisages partly cloudy conditions over the northern region of the country during the morning hours on Tuesday. Cloudy conditions are anticipated over the north-central region during the morning hours, with prospects of afternoon/evening thunderstorms anticipated over parts of the Federal Capital Territory, Nasarawa, Kogi, Plateau, Niger, and Benue states. Morning rains are anticipated over parts of Enugu, Abia, Imo, Edo, Ondo, Ogun, Lagos, Delta, Bayelsa, Rivers, Akwa Ibom, and Cross River states. The agency forecast afternoon-evening thunderstorms and intermittent rains over entire southern region, according to NIMET. It predicted thunderstorms over parts of Jigawa, Yobe, Adamawa, Taraba, and Borno states later in the same day. Partly cloudy atmosphere is expected over the north-central in the morning hours, with prospects of thunderstorms anticipated over parts of the Federal Capital Territory, Plateau, Nasarawa, and Nasarawa states later in the day. Cloudy morning is expected over the southern region, with prospects of thunderstorms and intermittent rains over the entire region during the afternoon and evening hours. NIMET urged the public to take adequate precaution as strong winds may precede the rains in areas where thunderstorms are likely to occur. The agency advised online operators to get updated weather reports and forecasts from NIMET for effective planning in their operation. Action Committee of the Senior Staff Association of Nigerian Universities and the Non-Academic Staff Union of Educational and Associated Institutions, NASU, has directed members to commence a nationwide protest on Tuesday, July 9th. The directive is sequel to the failure of the federal government to pay the 4-month withheld salaries of the university employees. Recall that the leadership of SANU and NASU had met with the Ministers of Education, Labor and Employment and the National University Commission, NUC, on Thursday, July 4th. The meeting was to prevail on the unions not to embark on a nationwide industrial action, but the meeting ended in deadlock. According to a circular signed by SANU National President, Comrade Mohammed Haruna Ibrahim, and his NASU counterpart, Peter Adeyemi, in Abuja, the union accused the federal government of not showing any convincing commitment to paying the withheld salaries and resolving other pending grievances of the two unions. They found the government's lack of commitment disappointing, followed by a one-day nationwide protest on Tuesday and the national protest in Abuja on July 18, 2024. The Major Energies Marketers Association of Nigeria, MEMAN, on Sunday advised Nigerians not to engage in panic buying of fuel for stockpiling purposes, pointing out that bad weather is responsible for petrol shortfall in Lagos and other parts of Nigeria. MEMAN Executive Secretary Clement Isong gave this advice in an interview due to queues at filling stations across Lagos. Isong explained that the product shortfall in most stations was due to adverse weather and thunderstorms that delayed ship-to-ship transloading, among others. He said others included berthing at jetties, truck loads out, and transportation of products to filling stations, creating a disruption in station supply logistics. He noted that the Nigerian Meteorological Agency, NIMET, had also warned that the loading of petrol should be avoided during rainstorms and lightning. Isong emphasized that petroleum products were flammable and require transportation, dispensation, consumption, and storage in strictly controlled and regulated manners. He added that the delay in loading petroleum products at depot due to storms contributed to the shortfall of stocks in filling stations. Many trucks could not load product for over 48 hours. Be the party's nominee for president. The House Democrats who said Biden should drop out of the race were Adam Smith of Washington, Jerry Nadler of New York, Mark Tarano of California, and Joe Morell of New York. All 4 lawmakers hold top positions on key committees and bring the number of Democrats in Congress who have called for Biden to reconsider his bid for president to nearly a dozen. Smith is the top Democrat on the Armed Services Committee. Similar positions are held by Nadler on the Judiciary Committee, Mr. Kanu on the Veterans Affairs Committee, and Morel on the House Administration Committee. The four lawmakers and the Biden campaign did not immediately provide comments on the call. The conversation took place Sunday afternoon during a call convened by House Democratic leader Hakeem Jeffries of New York. During the call, which lasted over an hour, Biden's future as the leader of the party was heavily called into question, according to the sources. Each lawmaker was given a chance to speak in order of seniority. Even those who did not explicitly call on Biden to bow out expressed concerns that he is not the strongest candidate to beat former President Donald Trump in November, additional sources said. There was an overwhelming sense among lawmakers that Vice President Kamala Harris would be a better nominee than Biden, and that she would be the obvious choice to replace Biden should he exit the race, the additional sources said. The Economic Community of West African States, ECOWAS, has threatened to suspend funding from its projects across Burkina Faso, Mali, and Niger due to their withdrawal from the regional bloc. The president of the ECOWAS Commission, Aliou Omar Touré, while delivering his speech at the 65th Ordinary Session of this Authority of Heads of State and Government, said their withdrawal could lead to suspension of projects funded by the community in these countries, impacting economic and financial cooperation, including investments from regional financial institutions. Touré also added that withdrawal will result in the closure of ECOWAS regional structures in these countries, and that the mid-year report will cover the extensive work that has gone into other sectors such as agriculture and environment, education and culture, as well as mines and energy, especially renewable energy. Senegal and Togo. Burna Boy has smashed yet another record in music as in its first week of release, his new song, Higher, received 2.3 million plays on Spotify Nigeria. This surpasses the previous record of 2.1 million streams held by Benin Boys and Rema and Charlie Poppy. This is not Burna Boy's only recent accomplishment. Higher also set a Spotify record for the most first-day streams for a solo song by an African artist. The song Higher was released on June 27, 2024. Burna Boy discusses the need of valuing what is important while expressing success in his song. Burna Boy filmed the music. This organization collaborates with the REACH. For African music, Burna Boy has been establishing a lot of records. He had the top crossing concert in the United States and the most crossing tour in Canada for an African music. And that was the news. I've been Emmanuel Ejike. Thanks for staying with us on
Business, sports and entertainment. Your one-stop channel, Asset Television. Welcome to Asset Television, your best station for news, politics, business, sports and entertainment. Your one-stop channel, Asset Television. Welcome to Asset Television, your best station for news, politics, business, sports and entertainment. Your one-stop channel, Asset Television. Welcome to Asset Television, your best station for news, politics, business, sports and entertainment. Your one-stop channel, Asset Television. Welcome to Asset Television, your best station for news, politics, business, sports and entertainment. Your one-stop channel, Asset Television. Welcome to Asset Television, your best station for news, politics, business, sports and entertainment. Your one-stop channel, Asset Television. Welcome to Asset Television, your best station for news, politics, business, sports and entertainment. Your one-stop channel, Asset Television. Welcome to Asset Television, your best station for news, politics, business, sports and entertainment. Your one-stop channel, Asset Television. Welcome to Asset Television, your best station for news, politics, business, sports and entertainment. Your one-stop channel, Asset Television. Welcome to Asset Television, your best station for news, politics, business, sports and entertainment. Your one-stop channel, Asset Television. Welcome to Asset Television, your best station for news, politics, business, sports and entertainment. Your one-stop channel, Asset Television. Welcome to Asset Television, your best station for news, politics, business, sports and entertainment. Your one-stop channel, Asset Television. Welcome to Asset Television, your best station for news, politics, business, sports and entertainment. Your one-stop channel, Asset Television. Welcome to Asset Television, your best station for news, politics, business, sports and entertainment. Your